Melissa Russell, and I'm reading today's story on behalf of Immune Deficiencies Foundation Australia. This is a really special story today. It's called A Friendship Story, and it's by Danijela Pešić and Ivan Drazel, and it's inspired by Danijela's own childhood memories of living with a rare disease. So let's get started. Luke loves to play, and just like any other child, he loves toys and games. He reads books and plays with toys and aeroplanes and stuffed animals. He often uses his imagination, letting everything around him fade away as he plays. When this happens, Luke is very happy. But Luke is not always happy. He's living with a rare disease. It has a strange name that he cannot even pronounce. The disease is often one that not many people have, and it often makes him feel tired and sometimes causes pain. When this happens, he rarely goes outside to play. Even his imaginary world feels dull. And this can make him sad and upset. It also makes it harder to make new friends. Luke's mum and dad took him to see many doctors in many hospitals, and Luke did not always understand what the doctors were saying. All he wanted was to be well enough to play outside like the other children. Finally, it was Luke's first day at school. He was looking forward to meeting other children and making friends. Luke sat next to a boy named Stephen, who invited him to sit and make a house of building blocks. The house that they built was huge, and Stephen and Luke were very proud of their creation. All of the other children gathered around to admire it. Luke's first day was going well, but then it was time to play outside. "Let's run," Stephen suggested. "But I can't run," Luke replied, frowning. "Oh," Stephen said in surprise. "That's a shame. I really like running. I guess I'll see you later." Stephen ran out into the playground, and Luke sadly stared out the window at the other children playing outside. As the days passed, Luke would often have to stay inside by himself because he wasn't able to run around with the other children. He didn't want anyone else to know how sad this made him, so he stayed quiet. Sometimes his mum and dad would pick him up early from school to take him to doctors for checkups. Once, Luke even had to miss a friend's birthday party because he had a hospital appointment. Luke became very upset. It didn't seem fair. At school, some of the children started saying Luke was no fun and they didn't want to play with him anymore. One of his classmates didn't invite him to her birthday party because her mother had told her that it would be better if he didn't come. "Why invite him when he doesn't even play with you?" she said. "All he does is sit in the corner of the room while the other children are playing." And so Luke's sadness grew and grew. But then one day, Luke's classmate, Stephen, broke his leg and it had to be put into a cast. Together they sat and watched the other children play. Stephen found it frustrating to stay still all day. "I'm sorry that you got hurt," said Luke, comforting him. "I hope you can run again soon." Later, Stephen thought about how Luke must feel to be left out every day during school breaks. It was hard to be inside sitting down while seeing all the other children have fun and play without you. He realised that it wasn't Luke's choice not to run. With Stephen and his friends, Luke could not play in the way other kids could. After several weeks, Stephen's leg finally healed and he could run again. But he did not forget how sad it had made him feel while wearing his cast. He made up his mind to try and be a good friend to Luke. Luke's birthday was coming up and he was afraid that no one would come to his party. He'd noticed that many of the children had been avoiding him at school. What he did not know was that his friend Stephen was preparing a surprise. On the day of his party, Luke was waiting in the playroom. There was juice, cake and snacks. The only things missing were the other children, and Luke stared out of the window, hoping that someone would come. He waited and waited, and still no one arrived. Luke grew sad and disappointed. Suddenly, he heard a loud noise coming from outside. Stephen burst through the door. He was followed by all the other children from the class. Everyone had come to Luke's birthday. They brought building blocks and paint and paper. They played all sorts of indoor games together with Luke. Before they had arrived, Stephen had explained to the other children. Luke likes playing games, but he gets very tired because his body works differently from ours. It's better if we play indoor games. When the other kids understood, they were happy to join in too, to celebrate Luke. And Luke was delighted. After his birthday party, Stephen often sat next to Luke at school, and the other children played games with Luke inside too. Luke still had to go to hospital a lot, but he never felt lonely at school again. When Luke grew up, he became a famous painter, and many of his friends from his class came to visit his art shows. They would proudly tell the reporters and guests that Luke was their friend going back to when they were children. And Luke never forgot the kindness of his school friends, and his friends learned how much fun can be had when everyone gets included. And that is our story today in recognition of Rare Disease Day, a global movement creating understanding and awareness of those living with a rare disease.